And welcome to Tempe, Arizona. We are back for the 59th Intercollegiate Handball Championships, brought to you by the United States Handball Association and hosted by the WPH. My name is Dave Vincent, alongside broadcast partner David Fink. Dave, we have the women's singles finals, Division I, between Shauna Hilley and Sandy Ng. What is going to have to happen here today in order for the underdog Hilley to defeat Sandy?
Well, I'm not sure that Hilley is the underdog here, Dave. She's had a very impressive run here at this event. I think this match is very much a toss-up. Two completely contrasting styles, I believe, is going to make for an incredibly exciting and dramatic final.
Sandy Ng is the #1 seed, and she gets the first serve here against Shauna Hilley.
Receiving from IT Tralee will be Shauna Hilley. Let's give her a hand.
That's the announcement from Rick Hatcher, the referee for this match. Sandy Ng from Lake Forest College gets that serve. She's a Forester. 2 games to 21, tiebreaker to 11. Here is the opening serve to Shauna Hilley.
Interesting, Dave. Sandy starts with a lob serve that doesn't go well. The strength of Sandy's game, Dave, is her power and her power serve.
And here is Shauna Hilley. She's from County Kerry. Oh, look at that spin.
Here's a big back wall setup.
And the first point for the Irish handball student athlete from Tralee.
Shauna doesn't have the explosive firepower and the offense that Sandy Ng does. As you saw Sandy there with a beautiful left-handed left corner rollout.
But she does have the getting ability.
Well, you didn't let me finish, Dave. She's got the intangibles. She's got the speed and the craftiness of a veteran.
And a lot of tenacity, too. And you can
Nice
see it
shot
in her
there from Shauna.
You can see it in her body English. She's, after every shot, popping up, jumping a couple times like she's skipping rope. Very intense.
She's very positive also, Dave. Beautiful back wall kill there, and that's already Shauna's second kill of the match.
It's also the second announcer's curse of the match, too.
Just about right. We met with Shauna, Dave, in our pre-production meeting this morning. She said she's not really nervous right now, but it'll hit her when she gets into the court.
0 serve 2, Sandy Ng.
Let's not forget, Dave, that Shauna came back from losing a match point yesterday in the second game and went on to win the tiebreaker. Takes a lot of mental strength, Dave, too.
Watch how Sandy takes this ball. Power.
And just overpowers Shauna there. But, Dave, as you know, it takes a lot of mental strength to have a match point in the second game, not convert it, and come back and win the tiebreaker. And that's what Shauna did yesterday. Here's a big setup in the front court for Sandy. Beautiful pass from Sandy there. Sandy shot the right corner. On the return of serve, came right back to Shauna. Shauna unable to do enough with it. Beautiful low power serve, and look at that amazing control, Dave. That's a Sean Lenning type of shot. Up at shoulder height, redirecting it back down the right.
Score is 3-2, and there's a short ball. As soon as we have our first timeout, we'll bring in Fred Lewis, president of the WPH, and Mike Steele, president of the United States Handball Association. Double fault from Sandy Ng.
That's a huge mental mistake there from Sandy. Never should serve a power serve for a second serve, Dave.
Well, you're
just not enough margin for error.
You were just talking about a Sean Lenning type shot. That's what Sean Lenning likes to do, is that power serve on his second serve.
Well, Sean usually hits the deep two-wall serve into the back left crack for his second serve. There's a ceiling rally. Sean's got great control with that right fist, Dave, and she's not afraid to use it at any time.
That's the first time we've seen her go to the ground.
Look at that power from Sandy. And that's that one-wall hands from Sandy Ng right there, Dave. the soft hands and the fast reflexes.
Score is 3-2. Crowd starting to get into it now. We're courtside here at the Rec Center in Tempe, Arizona, home of the Sun Devils at ASU, and that's a replay off a back left corner window where you store your equipment when you come into the court.
That's a great retrieve from Shauna there, and I like that ceiling shot.
Look at that shot with the left, Dave. Look at that shot from Shauna Hilley. Unbelievable.
A beautiful shot. Incredible placement. Incredible strength there with the left hand. That's a tough serve there, Dave. Sandy should have let that ball come off the back wall.
Well, she couldn't see it. She looked back at the referee, wanted a screen.
Okay. Looks like that's a fifth serve.
Now you see Sandy wincing just a little bit, holding her back, left side.
Let's not forget, Dave, this event is a battle of attrition. Both these ladies been playing 2 matches a day since Wednesday. Here we are Sunday morning. Both these ladies recognized last night, Dave, at the banquet as All-Americans. They called it a night, though, immediately after the awards ceremony. They got home and got their rest. Sean telling us she went to the mini mart to get her Frosties and cereal.
I thought her Frosties were the cereal.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what that was. It was amazing serve there from Shauna. She compresses that ball so well into her hand, and that ball catches the sidewall and rolls out. Our referee having a little bit of trouble communicating here. Referee Rick Hatcher, also the senior sales associate for the WPH.
Well, he's not going to get a commission off of this match. There's another point. 6 serves 4. I like that serve there. Flattens out.
The biggest weakness of Sandy, Dave, throughout the years has been her mental strength. She has a tendency to go away during matches if things aren't going her way. She's been mentally tougher recently, and that explains a lot of her recent success. But now it's Shauna Hilley just playing amazing ball right now, David. A timeout might be in order here for Sandy.
Well, she'll definitely call it if Shauna scores one more point. Don't you think that in women's handball on the collegiate level that the coaches should be teaching that fist shot as like a viable weapon? You look at how well Shauna hits that ball with a fist. Some of our top...
And Sandy completely misjudging that.
Some of our top pros, and there is that timeout. We're going to introduce Mike Steele and Fred Lewis into the booth. And Dave, we're going to send you down to the court with the microphone, and you can help us report courtside as we take this timeout from ASU. We now have the 2 gentlemen in the booth as Dave Fink leaves. Fred Lewis, WPH president, and Mike Steele. Hi, guys.
Hey, glad to
Hi,
be here.
Dave.
Welcome to the Collegiate National Championship webcast booth. You guys have been here since the very beginning, day 1 of this great tournament at ASU. Mike, what is your feelings about this venue and the collaboration with the WPH and USHA and all of the schools that have come out to this event?
One word, great, for both questions. So one of the things that we're really pleased with is that you're able to bring the excitement of this game to a wide base, and great job announcing this wonderful matches and showing that this is a game for all people. We've had all kinds of skill levels in this court the last 3 or 4 days. So thank you very much, Dave.
Thank you, Mike. Fred, you know, we've seen you and Mike together multiple times off to the side talking and explaining a little bit about each other's organization's positions and maybe the future of handball. What is your progress and how you feel that this has been working out for the kids? It's been very positive, obviously.
Well, you're absolutely right. And, you know, we've always had the kids' interests
first in line, and it's obvious that the fact that the two organizations are promoting this event, that it was a great event. Last night at the banquet, there was a tremendous amount of enthusiasm, and in fact I remarked to Mike that wouldn't it be great if we could have this enthusiasm at all the banquets, the Masters banquets, the Nationals, et cetera, et cetera. There's nothing like a collegiate tournament in terms of excitement, electricity, and enthusiasm, and it all has to do with the fact that that the kids are playing, you know, as a team, and they root for each other and support each other. And as I said, there's nothing else like it in handball.
That's a nice shot right there from Shauna Hilley, who has the lead right now 10-4 in the women's finals. Mike, I know you second that thought. Last night sitting at the banquet, I haven't been to a lot of them, but I've been to a few. There were just so much excitement from each individual school when their name were called or their team were called. They would get up and yell, and it just seemed very vocal last night. Is that something that is new to these games, or has it always been there? It's just that we had a lot of kids.
Right. Well, this is my 32nd collegiate tournament, and it's with the team format. You do have that. Although I remarked to Fred last night, do we really want college songs with the Masters? You know, you're almost afraid to find out what they'd be singing there. But
that's true.
In any case, Fred is exactly right. I think the team format allows people to identify with each other, and they make friends across these teams. That's one of the really delightful things. And I mentioned that last night at the banquet. Now that the two tournaments have come together, you just know that these kids enjoyed seeing each other.
The score is 4-10. The voices you hear are of Mike Steele, president of the United States Handball Association, and Fred Lewis of the WPH. Fred, the banquet, of course, was a nice little cap to a great tournament that we had here. We had close to 300 students, and about in upwards, eventually right near the deadline, about 44 schools. I think probably only about 40 of those came, but look at that shot right there from Sandy Ng. Again, another dive. This segues perfectly into the question, the competition. Look at these kids really wanting to play, Fred. They really want these championships, and you can hear the team camaraderie. Is that just something that is different from collegiates compared to other tournaments that you go to?
Well, you know, if you're talking about these two players specifically, you know, Sandy is a veteran player, even though she's only 18 years old. You know, she's the current women's one-wall champion. You know, she did very well in the three-wall tournament this year, and she also, you know, won the Vegas World Outdoor Wall Ball Tournament. And Shauna also, you know, a veteran player. She's been playing a long time. So, you know, this is a very, very competitive game. You got two terrific women athletes here, and that's the reason why we're seeing, you know, such quality play. I know I'm just watching, you know, it looks to me like Sandy's a little nervous. You know, she's always been a little intimidated by the Irish, and you know, it remains to be seen whether she can come out of this and, you know, play up to her potential.
You have to add, excuse me, Dave, you have to add the international component to this. Lake Forest has been a dominant team for decades. These two, I'm sure, have met each other in the juniors. Certainly they've seen each other's games. And this is one of the joys of the tournament, is that we have, how many, 30, 40 players from Ireland?
Right, yeah. Shauna Hilley actually won the 19 and under World Championship in Portland.
That's right.
There's a point right there from Sandy Ng. Let's go to Dave Fink really quick, who is courtside watching Sandy come back to tie this game at 10. Dave, what's going on over there?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with defending men's singles champion Nikolai Nahorniak, also a teammate of Sandy Ng. Nikolai, what do you think Sandy needs to do here to actually come back here and take this match and take this championship?
I think that she needs to keep Shauna in the back court more, and when she gets a chance to fly the ball, she should fly and shoot the ball.
Now, I know you have a big match coming up here against your teammate, Vic Perez. What are your thoughts going into that match? Is that difficult for you to play against one of your teammates?
It's always difficult because, I mean, we always practice together, every other day, and it's hard because there's going to be a winner and a loser. So just have to see how the tournament goes, and if we hit our shots, it'll be a tough match.
Thank you, Nikolai. We're going to let Nikolai get back to preparing for this match. But guys, I'm down here courtside. This is some of the most incredible handball I've ever seen from these ladies. Just amazing athleticism and power. Dave, back to you and Fred and Mike.
Got it. Thank you very much. That's David Fink reporting courtside, watching Shauna Hilley from Trey Lee get that ball down the right wall and forcing the side out. This is the first game all together at 10 versus Sandy Ng, the #1 seed. It's Shauna Hilley now serving. Mike Steele, you know, we touched on a little bit about the collaboration of having both tournaments merge into one. Obviously, next year, there's so much more planning to do and a lot of conferencing, but I believe, just in my opinion, that it has been a very positive thing for everybody involved to get as many organizations involved in this, in the promotion of this wonderful sport that we call the collegiates. Do you have any plans or any thoughts? I know that your mind is always working about the future. Is there anything that's in there right now that's rattling around that you'd like to see?
Well, I like the nature of the collaboration, and I think it was your phrase, Dave, in an email 6 weeks ago, talking about the Starbucks phenomenon, you know, Starbucks inside a Barnes & Noble, and or another phrase, a boutique event, you know, a high-class event in the middle of a larger event, such as will be happening in Tucson in the weeks ahead with the Women's Classic, the Hall of Fame, and a WPH Pro Stop, right?
Absolutely.
And I really like the synergy that is emerging from having our two organizations working together to promote both professional handball and the amateur game. I think we're going to, I am just really optimistic for the future.
Fred?
Oh, I agree 100%. You know, definitely there are human resources as well as monetary resources, you know, in both organizations, and this tournament was, I think, just the beginning of what we could do to move handball forward by having these types of collaborations. And I know I'm excited. I know Mike's excited about what's in store for the future. So, you know, we're all very, very happy that this event occurred, and you know, we'll see what happens down the road.
You're hearing the voices of Fred Lewis from the WPH president, as well as Mike Steele, the United States Handball Association's president. Mike, you're also the coach of Pacific as Sandy Ng goes into the wall right there. Shauna Hilley is now serving at 14-10 in this first game, and it's getting heated here courtside at ASU. This is the 59th Collegiate National Handball Championships in Tempe, Arizona. Mike, your team, talk about Pacific.
Well, I'm very proud of our team. Actually, this is now a recruiting message. Come to Pacific University. But we're a small college near Portland, Oregon, and this is our 32nd or 31st collegiate tournament. It appears that we came in third this year behind Lake Forest and Missouri State. We have one young man playing for a national championship as we speak. And our kids were just really, really glad to be part of this big event, and we look forward to the next one.
Now, since it is a recruiting message that we're talking, you're kind of like pimping a film here on Leno. Let's talk about that. Why would a parent of a junior watching right now take their student out to Pacific? What about the environment, campus life, handball program would benefit their kid?
Right. We have outstanding academics. We specialize in the health science fields in our graduate school, which is a very large graduate school in the Oregon area. One of the really key benefits that somebody can get from coming to Pacific is that they can earn membership at the Multnomah Athletic Club, which is where the World Tournament was conducted in October of '09. The Multnomah Athletic Club has accepted several of our students for athletic memberships there, so some of the best players in the Northwest and the country play at that club. And so you can get plenty of handball and a great education.
And we've had a lot of top players go through the program. I guess we could call Pacific a powerhouse. I mean,
modestly.
You guys, have you won the national championship?
We have not. We measure our success, with Lake Forest in the vicinity. It's kind of hard to get those national championships. We measure our success in our national champions, and we're playing for the 21st national championship that we've recorded since 1986 today. And we've had 3 All-Americans. We had Aaron Garner as an All-American last year, and we just missed with Alfredo Herrera this year. If he had won one more game in a tiebreaker, he would have been an All-American. So that's how we measure it. And we, as I say, we took 3rd. Last year we took 2nd. This, let me put it this way, it satisfies our administration. These are well-spent dollars from the administrative side supporting our program. The students retain better, and that's a huge message for the college world. If you get college students involved in activities on their home campus, they are going to stay there and persist through that degree. If they're unattached, it's much more difficult.
That is the voice of Mike Steele, president of the USHA and coach of Pacific. The score here is 16-10. Let's go to Dave Fink, who is courtside with an analysis of this game here between Shauna Hilley and Sandy Ng. This is the women's finals first game, Dave.
Well, Dave, Sandy took the lead at 10-9, and from that point, she's been completely exhausted. She made 4 consecutive errors, and now it's Shauna leading 16-10. I really feel like Sandy needs to capture this first game because I don't think she's going to be able to win a second game to 21. Her best chance would be to take this first game and maybe the tiebreaker because Shauna's showing no signs of slowing down. In fact, she seems to be getting only stronger with each rally, as she did yesterday. So we'll have to see if Sandy can find her second wind here and come back and take this first game.
That's a nice shot right there from Shauna Hilley, though. That's Dave Fink. Thanks, Dave, for that update courtside. We're going to say goodbye to Mike Steele, who has a match going on in an adjacent court. So thanks for the voice and lending a little bit of commentary there, Mike. The score is 18-10. Fred Lewis still here. Fred, these games have been pretty exciting, and this one right here is, you can feel the tension still at 18-10.
Well, my analysis of it is that Sandy seemed to slow down, and she's playing very sloppily right now. There's an example right there. She, got lucky because the ball cracked out, but she's had shots, and she's not setting up, and she's leaving the ball up too much on her kills and passes. They should be a lot sharper. That was a little better. Also making too many hand errors. And Shauna's stayed on her.
There's a serve.
See what she does with this. See, that's an example. That ball should have gone straight down the wall. She's got to straighten the ball out. Another hand error. Too many hand errors, unforced.
We're going to say goodbye to you, Freddie, as we have Patty Gaffney waiting to come into the webcast booth. We're going to get him in. I want to thank you for having your conversation with Mike Steele. Anything you'd like to add to the final touches of that conversation?
Well, no, I think, the message that we're sending out to the handball public, again, is that the governing bodies of both organizations, I think, have seen the light as far as working together for the good of handball. And, we look forward to, with great anticipation, the continued cooperation. And again, it'll be good for everybody if we can keep this up.
Okay, thanks for stopping by the booth. I agree with everything you just said. Have a great rest of the tournament, Freddie. We'll have Patty Gaffney. Fred's going to go get Patty, and we're going to bring him in. He is the college commissioner for Ireland, and he could speak about what their progress is in handball, as well as one of his players out here who just used a great shot right there, Dave Fink, with the left-handed sidearm fist. Shauna Hilley winning her 21st point and defeating Sandy Ng by the score of 21-12. Dave, did you see that left-handed punch?
From Shauna, able to take that ball, come over it with her left fist and ride it straight down the right wall. It was a virtuoso performance there from Shauna in the first game, and as you can see, she doesn't even want this 5-minute break, Dave. She's she's ready to start this second game. Right now, the level of play here is just so high. Sandy not letting the ball drop, particularly in the second half of that first game. And if you're not letting the ball drop against Shauna Hilley, there's no way to end the rally because she's digging everything. She's got incredible speed. Sandy now is frustrated and completely worn out. Her coach, Coach Dow, is having a word with her right now, trying to get her in the right frame of mind to come back in here and capture the second game. Sandy has had a lot of success, Dave, in the last year, winning the one-wall nationals and three-wall world outside world championship. So she knows that she can do it. Sandy also plays Megan Mihalos in practice, Dave, currently ranked number 2 in the world and actually has beaten Megan in practice. So she's got a lot of good thoughts that she can fall back on. It's just this opponent today is so tough and so demanding. Sandy is going to have to find her absolute best game if she wants to force the tiebreaker and win this championship.
I don't know if you're going to feel comfortable or not talking to Shauna, but she did tell me before the match that she's comfortable with us interviewing her between games, and if you want to mosey over there, I'm sure she will not mind. She has her friends and family back home. Also, Dave, the camera's on you, and we'll follow or track your progress over here in the live booth. So we're going to have Dave walk over to Shauna Hilley, whose family is back home. Dave, look at the camera here. Ask Shauna how she's feeling after this match.
Shauna, that was an incredible performance there in the first game. I don't know if you could have played much better. Any thoughts going into the second game? Just keep doing what you're doing, or?
Just hope that my serve holds up. I might have to switch the heights a bit, and that's pretty much it. Hope my arm holds out and just keep passing her.
It seems like you have an endless amount of energy. It doesn't seem like you're tired at all. Is that accurate?
Ask me after the second game and I'll tell you.
Okay, guys, that's Shauna Hilley. We'll look forward to seeing Shauna in the second game. Good luck, Shauna.
Thank you very much, Dave. We are going to take a quick timeout here in just a few. The live online broadcast is supported and brought to you by Nifty TV. Nifty TV provides online broadcasts for the Arena Football League, Grambling State University Athletics, professional bull riders, and many, many more. Go to their website, check them out at niftytv.com. Video on demand replay of these USHA games. The Collegiate National Championships here in Tempe will take place at niftytv.com. Just look for that online banner at the top. Click it in a couple days from now, and you'll be able to watch these matches at niftytv.com. And while you're on the internet, go to wphpass.com and get your all-access pass video membership card. This will allow you to watch free webcasting for the remainder of the year. Plus, we'll throw in some DVDs to include the Dave Chapman Instructional and Pro Player T-shirt. It's part of the all-access video pass that you can purchase at wphpass.com. We have about 2 minutes left before the ladies get back onto the court for game number 2. It was Shauna Hilley defeating Sandy Ng in the women's finals in that first game, 21-12. We will have more action coming up in about 60 seconds. You stick around. We're going to take a quick timeout. For Dave Fink, my name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back in just a few at WPHLive.tv. And we are back live from Tempe, Arizona for the 59th Collegiate National Championships, brought to you by the United States Handball Association and hosted by the WPH. Game number 2 after Shauna Hilley wins the first one 21-12. Versus Sandy Ng. Dave Fink is back in the broadcast booth now. Nice shot right there, and she keeps down on the ground.
You see all these kill shot attempts from Sandy, Dave, are successful against any other player except for Shauna. Shauna has just about a half a step more quickness than any of the other ladies in this event. She's able to track all these 6-inch kill shots down. You mentioned, Dave, that Shauna might not have the offensive prowess, but it's been Shauna that's ended the vast majority of the rallies with flat kills. She hit about 4 flat rollouts, Dave, in that first game, and a number of other 4-inch high kills. Now just an amazing fist serve deep into that right side wall. The pace of the ball, Dave, is just so fast. I was down there courtside on the right side glass wall, and it's incredible to see how quickly the ball is moving around the court. Also, the foot speed of these ladies, Dave, is just amazing. It's now Sandy doing all of the retrieving. Sandy generally controls the center of the court. Sandy went for that right corner Z serve. She scored 3 consecutive points on that serve to get to 10 in the first game, but it seems like Shauna's made the adjustment to that serve.
Second serve.
This looks very much like a women's pro semifinal nationals match, Dave. This is, the level of play is so high.
0 serves 3.
Score is 0-3.
That's a rare mistake from Shauna on a very poorly hit serve from Sandy. The ball popped out. Shauna with a very easy setup. And here's the same exact serve, another setup, and Shauna still not putting it down. And consecutive errors there from Shauna Hilley, uncharacteristic. Great camera angle there, the two ladies.
Here's a setup that Sandy doesn't let go to the back wall.
That's some of that one-wall instinct, Dave, to take that shot out of the air. Sandy just amazing gets, one after another.
Look at that shot, almost makes it to the front wall. Just checks up short.
Very tough shot, Dave, to sprint back to the back wall, stop on a dime, and then shoot the ball. Not many players have that ability. And Shauna with another error. You see her nodding her head, she knows. She's getting those errors out of her system.
Score is 2-3, second game.
That's too short. You see Shauna pushes the ball down the wall. Now she's in control of the center of the court. Nice shot there from Sandy. Perfectly placed overhand one-wall pass. Here's a great serve. That just catches that back wall first. Sandy's trying to hit the sidewall back wall, and that ball just popped into the back wall and came out for a pretty easy setup for Shauna. Look at that strength from Sandy to take that return of serve. 3-wall with her left hand. And once again, Sandy not letting the ball come to the back wall.
Check the ball, please. Check it.
What is Sandy looking at?
3 serves 3.
What did Sandy think was going to happen there? She didn't think it was going to make the front wall?
I think Sandy was just upset that she got hit by the ball. A great get there from Sandy. Neither of these ladies can be overpowered in the front court, Dave. As you've seen, these girls are hitting the ball so hard, right at each other's feet.
3 serving 3.
Once again, she catches that back wall first, and Shauna makes no mistake. That's the shot I'd expect a player at Shauna's level to make, a flat roll. Sandy just missing her spot on that serve, Dave, by about 6 inches.
Wow, and she gets that point right there. That's a tough one to. I was going to say she's going to.
That's the
have
Dave
trouble.
Vincent. That's the shot that you invented. Left sidewall, right sidewall, front wall. And that's exactly what Sandy's teammate Nikolai suggested. She start taking some balls out of the air. And that's a good serve. That's the serve that she's been trying to hit. Here's the setup.
Although it's tough on that wall, Dave, it's just so hard to see. And you see Sandy keeps sliding her hand down that side wall. Camera doesn't really see this, but that ball just seems to be camouflaged when it goes down those walls.
That ball actually came straight out. Would have been nearly impossible to play even without the glass. And there's a great 3-wall return.
Now you see Shauna Hilley coming back into the server's box at 5-3. We also now have back into the webcast booth a couple years later, it seems, is Patty Gaffney from Ireland. Patty, what is your position with the Irish team?
Primarily, I suppose, an organizer. I coach the DIT squad and coordinate the trip for the rest of the people that are coming out from Ireland.
So you're a coach of DIT and a travel agent.
Basically, yeah.
And chaperone and a travel agent as we see a timeout here at 6-3. I know that you're not amazed at this score. Some people here who have not seen Shauna Hilley are certainly thinking that Sandy Ng, the #1 seed, would have just walked right over Shauna, but it's been kind of the opposite up to this point.
Yeah, no, we pretty much knew from back home, like, you know, with Shauna's credentials coming through at juniors, and her performance this week to boot. Plus, like, she's played some pretty tough opponents back home. Like, she regularly plays Ashley Prendeville, and she's in the courts with Aisling Riley a lot, and the rest of the top class women back home in Ireland, you know. So she's well used to tough competition, and yeah, it's no great surprise to us now. You know?
Now, you've been with the Collegiate National Championships for many years. What are your thoughts about the collaboration? I saw one video piece that one of our staff members walking around getting little sound bites and actualities, asking questions on video, and I saw this nice clip that you put out. So I'm sorry that you're having to repeat this twice, but the collaboration between the two organizations, or maybe a step further, bringing everything together, how do you like it, the progression?
Oh yeah, it was a must, like, you know what I mean. Like, don't get me wrong, last year's tournament was still a quality tournament, but it just wasn't the same, you know, without the full, you know, 280 to 300 contingency, you know. Much better atmosphere, a higher class of competition when you've got all involved, you know.
Certainly there's a lot more energy. Last night's banquet was one of the most explosive that I've been involved in, seeing everyone cheering and all that positive energy out there. And I am sure that is something that is one of those things that the kids think about, the student athletes think about when they go back home. That looked like a double bounce. And a good call from Sandy Ng. What is a scuttle with your kids about the tournament? What are they saying? Is it one of their favorites, or?
Well, we've one or two. We've a lot of freshmen actually on this trip, and there's one or two of them that have, you know, I've asked them how are they enjoying the trip, and they kind of respond with you know, the intervarsities back home was the best week in my life. This is even better, you know. So that pretty much says it all from their standpoint, you know.
Score here is 10-3. Dave, what are you seeing going on here with Shauna? What is she
Shauna just completely overwhelming Sandy now in every aspect of the game. She's overpowering her. She's moving her all over the court. She's got her completely frustrated and mentally broken at this point.
Patty, Shauna was the 4th, 5th seed?
Yeah, she
couldn't be the 5. She's playing.
She's either the
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah, she's 3. But it was always going to be tough to seed this tournament this year because of the fact we had 2 separate ones last year. So you were lacking a lot of head-to-head matches against these guys to actually seed them correctly, And I think the guys did a very tough job seeding the tournament and done pretty well, more or less,
It's interesting, Dave, you mentioned that these girls had played in the juniors. They actually have never played. They've never even seen each other.
Actually, I didn't mention that. I
Well,
knew already that they never even knew who each other were. That was Mike Steele who said they probably knew each other, but quite the opposite. Like, Shauna didn't even know who Sandy Ng was.
That was as early as 8:50 this morning. She didn't know who her opponent was.
After a tournament where they've been around each other for 5 days. I even think that Shauna played her in a game of doubles and defeated her earlier, and she still doesn't know who she is. Shauna isn't the type of person that worries about stuff like that. She's just going to go in there and play handball.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she's got to take care of business on her end, you know what I mean? And, it's not really a matter of what her opponent does or what she's capable of. Shauna knows her own abilities and her own desire.
You see a nice drive there from Sandy, but Shauna's there. It's a smart shot, change of direction.
And that's just been typical of Sandy Ng's game so far.
She's under so much pressure, Dave. If she doesn't hit the perfect shot, Shauna's there to either put her on defense or end the rally.
There's very few girls I know around in the game, kind of in the recent past, that kind of scrap as hard as Shauna does, fights and digs for every single last ball, So she's a real tough opponent.
Patty, you're obviously very involved in the international front with collegiate handball and handball in general. It's been sort of your life's passion, your life's work. I have noticed a major improvement with Irish handball in general since the hiring of Chris Curran and the continued work with Nee Began. I'm actually amazed by how well the promotion is going and the building of Irish handball. Is there an actual increase of numbers right now, or is it just an increase of marketing and promotion?
From a collegiate standpoint or InterVarsity standpoint back home, our numbers are probably increasing by in or around the 25% each year on year for the last 5 years. So we're seeing a dramatic increase at college level, and I'm assuming that that's kind of reflective in junior programs around the different clubs and counties in Ireland. Like we've made a couple of recent redevelopment structures of tournaments over there, where we've split our nationals now into a separate junior and senior nationals, which has, given you the ability to have a higher number of juniors come to the thing. We used to have a pre-qualifying weekend where you reduced each division down to, say, a 16. But now, in the advent of it being split into 2 tournaments, you can open up the tournament for the whole weekend to pretty much anybody that enters,
It seems like you're maybe more Americanizing the method of, instead of holding the tournaments drawn out over a long period of time in multiple venues. I noticed that your senior championship has the quarterfinals and semis on the same day.
Yeah.
Actually, it seems like maybe the Americans should Irishanize their approach to teaching.
Juniors, at least.
Well, like, everybody can learn from everybody. If you see something that works, use it. It's pretty simple logic, really.
Right. The score is 14-4 here as Shauna is starting to run away with this. Very difficult shot to make, but she does get it.
And there's a mishit from Sandy. You see her shaking her head.
Shauna is, like you said earlier when we were talking, is a little unorthodox, but she gets the job done.
Yeah.
She's a tomboy, but still a girl. And she's so passionate about handball.
Oh, yeah, she loves every last thing about it,
Beautiful shot there from Sandy. Furious rally there in the front court, and Sandy ends it with a left corner pinch.
Sandy's frustrated with the fact that Shauna sticks in really close and tight with her when she's playing.
Oh, Sandy should be used to that. She's grown up on the one-wall courts. You have to actually stand on top of people to swing there in New York.
Is there anything you'd like to add, Patty, about the experience here in Tempe, Arizona, or the future of the sport?
Yeah, I like the way things are moving over here currently at the moment, like with the collaboration between the USHA and the WPH. It's it looks from the outside that it's better all around for everybody. Like, you know, both organizations have such immense, you know, talents to bring to the game in different aspects, and it only makes sense that the two work hand in hand, you know. But yeah, I like what I see. I'm looking forward to see the new direction that Collegiate is going to take in the next couple of years under this new structure that they're going to introduce. So I think it's all positive, yeah.
All right. That's the voice of Paddy Gaffney from Ireland. We'll let you go down and coach your student athlete down there, Paddy.
Cheers, guys.
Okay.
All the best, and you're doing a great job. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Paddy Gaffney from Ireland. Paddy is the guy you get a hold of anytime you go over to Ireland. If you need help, he lives right there in Dublin. He'll help pick you up from the airport.
Nice. Tremendous get there from Sandy. Paddy's actually a little bit too rational and logical for you and I, Dave. Very bright man.
And
great get
shot
there from Sandy.
Now we're
Sandy
starting.
dives better than any woman I've ever seen, Dave.
Now we're starting to see this score creep back up there just a little bit, 8-14, and the crowd is now packed here at the rec center. That was a 3-wall serve. Sandy within striking distance.
Sandy seems to have her energy right now. This is a tough shot, and that's not the right shot. She catches the crack. That's the shot that we've seen a couple of times this weekend, Dave, and we've seen a number of players try to just tap that ball. Not the right shot when you're that close to the front wall.
Look at that serve, Dave. I mean, Sandy got it back, but nice shot right there from Shauna Hilley.
Sandy unable to take Shauna out of the front court. Now instead of Sandy trailing 9-14 after that easy setup, she's trailing 15-8. That's not a good shot. Shauna does exactly what she should do. A beautiful fist pass.
And a timeout called from Sandy Ing at the score of 16-8 in favor of Shauna Hilley. Sandy is the #1 seed in the Women's Open here. This is Division I Women's Finals of the 59th United States Handball Association's 4-wall collegiate championships at Tempe, Arizona at ASU on the campus of the Sun Devils. Yesterday I almost accidentally said Wildcats, and somebody from behind nailed me with a pitchfork. All I had is, I just said, "Wha," and they knew exactly. You don't even start off any sentence with that sound.
Which
around
wouldn't have been so bad if it wasn't 250 degrees, that pitchfork. But when it went in there with the temperature, very uncomfortable.
That's the tough part. Courtside, you see a picture of Shauna Hilley as she gets off the court talking to some of her compadres down there. There's Coach Mike Dow, Hall of Famer, watching on Sandy Ing.
From Coach Mike Dow asked me specifically, can I get a tape of this match? He's already, his wheels are already turning for the next matchup for how Sandy can improve her game. Coach Dow has so much wisdom. You need only talk to him for just a couple of seconds.
All we have to do is just tell Coach you can buy your WPH All Access Pass video membership and you could get everything for free. I'm surprised he's not a member already. We have a lot of video for him to study.
Beautiful shot there from Sandy. Shauna anticipating the left corner pinch, and Sandy kills it straight down the left.
Score is 9-16.
And that's the serve that's really gotten her in trouble here. An amazing get, but
that's a good
that
call.
was the worst shot that Shauna could have hit there. She could have won the point with a kill straight down the right, or a pass to the left, or a right corner kill, and she leaves the ball up on the front wall right sidewall.
Well, if Sandy catches up to her, that will be the one we'll look back at.
I don't understand this serve that Sandy's hitting. She's feeding balls into Shauna's right hand. And Shauna's making her pay every time.
Score is 16-9 right now with Shauna Hilley trying to get 5 more points to win the national championship.
Look at
Nice
Sandy
hit.
hit the floor there. Just an amazing rally. Shauna could have run through that ball rather than diving, Dave, and just paddled it to the left. Probably would have won the point. This is an excellent Z serve there. But you see just how perfect that Z serve has to be effective against Shauna, Dave. That ball runs parallel with the back wall.
10 serve, 16, 3-wall serve. This is the second game. Shauna Hilley wins the first one, 21-12. Here's that underhand second serve.
I don't like that serve.
Nice dig, though, from Sandy Ng.
You really don't want to have to be on the ground digging the return of serve. That means the serve was not very effective. Here's the setup. Beautiful spacing there from Sandy. You see how she got herself far away from that ball and moved into the ball at 45 degrees, caught that ball right out in front of herself at about knee height and rolls it.
Score now 11-16. That's a good serve.
That's all right.
Little miscommunication there.
That certainly might have bugged Shauna, thinking that she had 15, and she needs to focus on just the serve and deal with that other stuff later.
That serve's not deep enough. It's not the right shot off balance. And Shauna hits the perfect 2-wall pass. I like that shot from Sandy.
This is
incredibly
incredibly athletic, Dave.
It's amazing.
Look at that shot right there from Shauna Hilley.
Dave, you and I have watched a lot of top women's handball. And this is about as good as we've seen. Just incredible level.
16 serves 12.
Tremendous power. And that won't make it.
Now it's 17-12.
Sandy not giving herself much room for error at this point, Dave. Just 4 points from losing this match.
Nice dig.
Look at that footwork. She thought about taking that out of the air, but had enough presence, Dave, to back up.
Oh, barely makes a front wall, gets her hand on
There's
it.
a setup.
Take the shot. That's point.
That's a good call from our referee, Dave. She did take the shot. It was a very easy shot. She had the left corner and the entire right side. She really doesn't have a complaint there. That's a shot that she should make.
I think the only complaint is, yeah, she took the shot, but while she was taking it, Shauna drifted into her, drifted across her just a little bit.
That's a beautiful kill. I think Shauna gave her the entire right side of the court. She had a right.
So if we can get a replay of that shot, it would be great.
I don't think we're going to take a replay at this point.
I think we will.
It's 12-18. Great power from Shauna there.
Here's the score at 18-12.
Serves 12.
Good serve. Excellent serve.
This is going to come way high off the back wall.
Those are difficult shots. The ball hitting so high here.
Here's this shot right here. Now watch Shauna.
I don't think that's a hinder at all.
Back to the live action. That was a strange ball that just came out fast off that back left side.
12 serves 19.
Almost a great get there from Shauna. Sandy takes an awkward ball there and puts it away.
18 serves 19.
It was a great idea there from Sandy. Comes up about 4 inches short. Would have been an ace.
After this match ends, Dave, there will be an award presentation right on the show court. So for the viewers back home watching the live webcast, make sure that you stick around because we will have this mic'd up. You will be down on the court with your microphone.
It's always difficult, Dave, to close out a big championship. This would be the biggest win of Shauna Hilley's life. And you see now a little bit of nerve. She flubbed that last back wall shot. And now she's leaving these setups way up. This is what we saw Shauna do yesterday, Dave, trying to close out Pauline Gallagher. Got a little bit tight, unable to put the ball down. And now it's Sandy right back in this second game. Not a good serve. And a great try there from Sandy, but a better shot from Shauna and not a good serve at all from Sandy. I'm surprised, Dave, that she's stuck with that serve. Let's get a replay of that last point there, Dave. And this is the serve that I think has cost Sandy the deficit that she's in and will probably cost her a chance to win this match, is that Z serve that's bouncing into the right corner, hitting the back wall first, then the right side wall. It pops up, and that's just a huge setup for Shauna here. Let's take a look here. She's trying to use that right side back wall glass, but you see how this ball bounces more towards the middle of the court, and that's just putting the ball on a tee for a top player like Shauna Hilley, and with such a great back wall, I'm surprised Sandy's not serving power serves to the left and bring the ball back to her right hand, playing her right to Shauna's left. She's actually playing Shauna's right. Shauna's either killing the serve or she's pounding the return to Sandy's left.
You're listening and watching the 59th United States Handball Association's Four-Wall Collegiate National Championships, hosted by the WPH, live here in Tempe, Arizona at ASU. This is game 2. It was Shauna Hilley winning the first one, 21-12, and she's up 19-15. Winner wins the Women's Open Division I National Championship. Shauna Hilley from IT Tralee in Kerry County, Ireland.
It's going to be a tough shot.
Sandy Ng from Lake Forest College.
Another tough ball. You can see Sandy struggled with that back wall shot. You know, Dave, that ball comes off the ceiling in the back wall. It's a difficult shot to handle.
It's a second serve. Shauna Hilley 1 point away from winning this national championship. Let's watch this play out. Nice get right there from Sandy Ng. And she slides that ball down the wall, and another chance for her. Crowd loves it. There are about 100 Lake Forest fans surrounding this grandstand out of about the 300 to 400 watching this match courtside, with every single point or side out from Sandy Ng. And a miss hit right there from Shauna Hilley. Sandy gets another point at 16-20. 20-16. This is game and match point for Shauna Hilley. And there's the setup. You can really hear Sandy hitting this ball hard right now. And there it is. Shauna Hilley wins the Women's Division I Collegiate National Championship here on the court of ASU. That is a round of applause from the crowd, and we're going to go to Dave Fink, who is going to get a word from Shauna Hilley. I know that she is she's winded. Let's go courtside here, see if Dave can get Shauna on the microphone. Dave?
Shauna, congratulations. An incredible performance. How does it feel to be the 2011 USHA National Collegiate Champion?
Really, really, really good. Absolutely brilliant. Can't believe it. And it was a great game. Mercy on. Just want to congratulate her because she played an absolutely brilliant game, and I wish her all the best for next year.
We look forward to seeing you again next year. It was just an amazing performance. It was so great to watch you play. For so many of us, the first time watching you play, and we hope to see you a lot more here in the United States at some of our other big events.
I hope so as well, to be honest.
Okay.
I'll try my best to come.
Great. Thanks, Shauna, and congratulations. Dave, back to you.
Okay, and we are going to go back to Dave Fink in just a few seconds as he's going to be on the court with the presentation with the awards. So Dave, keep that microphone and stay close as the award presentation is going to take place right now. Vern Roberts is going to go onto the court with Shauna Hilley as well as Sandy Ng and take pictures and give out the awards, and Dave Fink will be there with that microphone. And of course, we'll catch that live right here on the webcast. This is the first Division Open Championship for the singles of the day, and we'll have the award ceremony take place right after both of these matches. The men coming up with Nikolai Nahorniak and Vic Perez, both from LFC, in about 15 minutes from now. These are the 59th Collegiate National Handball Championships,
Yeah, of course.
brought to you by the United States Handball Association. And hosted by the WPH. We're here in Tempe, Arizona at ASU, and you just watched Shauna Hilley defeat Sandy Ng by the score of 21-12, 21-16. The webcasting feed courtesy of Nifty TV, niftytv.com. We also appreciate the fact that you are watching the live webcast here and sticking around as the finalists get onto the court and they accept their trophies, their national championships. Well deserved, about 6 rounds of handball in singles and multiple rounds of doubles for both of these players. Certainly they are spent, but right now they're running on fumes, and of course this is one of the biggest wins of Shauna Hilley's lives. Here's that award presentation. Dave, what's going on inside the court there?
Just trying to make sure that everyone gets a good shot here. These two great champions, incredible. Let's have everybody give these ladies a huge round of applause.
Round of applause from everybody out in the crowd. Yeah, they're putting their hands together.
They can't really hear me on this microphone though, Dave.
Dave Fink is going to talk to Shauna Hilley one more time here after this photograph. That's Shauna Hilley, who just won the Women's Division I Open Championship. Dave, let's go back down to you.
Sean, I know it's starting to settle in now that you're the national champion. I know you want to say hello to some of your friends and fans at home.
Hello, I wanted to say hello to my mum and dad back in Ireland, Margaret and Hilley. I love them so much, and as you can tell, I'm getting emotional, so I love you.
Very sweet, guys, and we'll look forward to seeing Shauna a lot more in the future. Shauna, it was amazing to watch you play. Just an incredible level of handball, and it was really a pleasure to watch. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you very much. That's Dave Fink alongside Shauna Hilley there, and Patty Gaffney, you're here quickly stepping into the booth as we had you in earlier, but then you were able to watch the remainder of that conclusion of that match. Shauna Hilley, has she arrived? Is this her arrival?
Possibly, yeah. She's still waiting to crack that nice big title back home, like, you know what I mean, get a big scalp under her in her account from back home. But definitely, yeah, this is quite a nice launching pad to get a real roll starting, you know.
And you know how this works on a personal level. You go to a tournament, you win you win your division, you go back home, and you just seem to be better mentally, yeah, if anything. So you know that the big travel over here is hard for people to come all the way to the United States and excel and stay focused. And she did it. No matter what the competition is, she did it. She beat the #1 seed. Mm-hmm. And so she's going to go back home with a lot more confidence. And she knows what it takes now to win a tournament that is played from Wednesday and ends on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Well, she has that at least underneath her belt.
Yeah, it's tough work. It probably helped her as well that she wasn't playing doubles. Like, you know, Sandy was playing singles and doubles, and that's quite tough over, you know, a 4 or 5 day tournament to be playing singles and doubles. You know, it's tough on the body. You've got to be in a serious state of conditioning, you know what I mean, to be able to maintain that through the finals of both, you know.
Well, congratulations to Shauna Hilley, the Division I Women's Open champion. We are going to take a quick break, get ready for Nikolai Nahorniak and his counterpart, Victor Perez, both from Lake Forest, in the Men's Division I Open finals coming up in just a few. That is going to conclude the webcast for about 10 minutes or so. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Courtside at ASU for Patty Gaffney, Dave Fink, Fred Lewis, Mike Steele, and our production crew, Linda Manning, Jeff Kastner, Chris Garrad. My name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back in just a bit. This feed has been brought to you by Nifty TV at WPHlive.tv.com.